The sweetness of fruit is often unfairly compared to that of artificial sweeteners, as though both were merely sources of taste without deeper physiological differences. Yet the contrast between them is profound. Fruits are complex living foods whose sweetness arrives wrapped in fiber, water, vitamins, and plant compounds that work together to nourish and regulate metabolism. Artificial sweeteners, in contrast, provide the illusion of sweetness without substance, a hollow chemical signal that confuses the body's natural systems of hunger, digestion, and glucose control. While fruits gently raise blood sugar in a controlled, balanced way, artificial sweeteners manipulate taste receptors without offering any nutritional guidance to the body. Over time, this false sweetness can destabilize appetite regulation, harm gut microbiota, and disrupt the very metabolic balance it claims to preserve. The key difference lies in fiber, the overlooked hero of natural sweetness. When you eat fruit, its soluble fiber forms a gel-like substance in the digestive tract that slows the absorption of glucose into the bloodstream. This gradual release helps maintain steady energy levels and prevents the dramatic sugar spikes and crashes associated with refined sugars or sugary drinks. At the same time, the fiber feeds beneficial gut bacteria, which ferment it into short-chain fatty acids that improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation. This means that the sweetness of fruit is self-regulated. It provides pleasure while maintaining metabolic stability. It's a sweetness the body understands, real, digestible, and harmonized with human biology. Artificial sweeteners, however, bypass this entire regulatory system. They stimulate sweetness receptors on the tongue but do not deliver calories or fiber to the gut, creating a metabolic mismatch. The body senses sweetness and prepares for an incoming surge of energy, yet none arrives. This can trigger confusion in insulin signaling and hunger hormones such as ghrelin and leptin, leading to increased appetite and cravings later on. In essence, artificial sweeteners trick the brain into expecting nourishment that never comes, perpetuating cycles of overeating and metabolic frustration. Even more concerning is their impact on the gut microbiome. Studies have shown that certain artificial sweeteners, such as aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin, can alter the composition of gut bacteria, reducing beneficial species and encouraging the growth of those linked to glucose intolerance. Since the gut microbiome plays a central role in regulating metabolism, immunity, and even mood, these disruptions can have far-reaching consequences. A single can of zero-sugar soda may seem harmless, but its repeated consumption can gradually undermine the delicate ecosystem that helps the body manage real nutrients. Fruits, in contrast, strengthen this ecosystem. Their natural sugars come with prebiotic fibers like pectin, inulin, and resistant starch that serve as food for beneficial microbes. A diet rich in whole fruits increases microbial diversity, supporting the growth of bacteria that produce anti-inflammatory compounds and enhance the body's response to insulin. This microbiome support is one of the hidden mechanisms through which fruits help regulate body weight and protect against metabolic disease. Sweetness, when delivered by nature, doesn't just satisfy the palate. It nourishes the microscopic world that supports the human body from within. Moreover, fruits offer metabolic intelligence that artificial sweeteners can never replicate. Their sugars are paired with water for hydration, potassium for electrolyte balance, and antioxidants that buffer oxidative stress caused by energy metabolism. Each bite of pineapple, mango, or apple delivers not just sweetness, but a coordinated network of nutrients that work together to optimize cellular function. Artificial sweeteners, by contrast, provide no such context. They replace pleasure with simulation, nourishment with chemical mimicry. The sweetness may register on the tongue, but it leaves the rest of the body nutritionally empty. It's also worth noting that the body's perception of sweetness evolved in response to natural foods. For most of human history, sweetness signaled safety and nutrient density. Ripe fruit meant energy, hydration, and vitamins. When artificial sweeteners hijack this evolutionary signal, they distort our relationship with taste. Over time, they can desensitize taste receptors, making naturally sweet foods like fruit seem less satisfying. This leads people to crave more intense forms of sweetness, deepening dependence on processed foods and beverages. The result is a cycle where sweetness loses its biological meaning and becomes a mere addiction to sensory stimulation. Natural sweetness, on the other hand, reinforces balance. The soluble fiber in fruit doesn't just moderate sugar release, It also supports satiety, helping you eat intuitively rather than compulsively. The combination of taste, texture, and nutrition in fruit communicates fullness to the brain in a way that artificial sweeteners never can. Eating fruit satisfies both physiological needs and sensory desires, providing an experience that feeds body and mind together. In the end, the difference between fruit and artificial sweeteners is the difference between nourishment and illusion. Fruit's sweetness teaches moderation. It gives enough to please the senses while protecting the metabolism. Artificial sweetness teaches overconsumption. It gives pleasure without consequence, leading the body to chase satisfaction that never arrives. Choosing fruit is not about rejecting sweetness, but about choosing a sweetness that respects your biology. It's sweetness with structure, purpose, and wisdom. So when faced with the choice between a fresh slice of mango and a sugar-free dessert, the smarter path is clear. One offers real energy, fiber, hydration, and microbial harmony. The other offers emptiness disguised as progress. Natural sweetness wins not only because it tastes better, but because it sustains life in every sense: metabolic, microbial, and human.